look to prevention. Let the medical system not happen to you.
Of course, definitely.
Eat healthy, be healthy.
Maintain a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly.
Work out.
All right.
Something interesting.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known, for when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Hide in forest. We have that on page 5. At the top of the Vanguard there, on the strip, we have energy crisis, vandalism, debt, others hinders 8,000 megawatt supply. We have that report. We have that on page 24. Edo Guba APC unveils Idahusa running mates. We have that on page 7. Terrorists kidnap 87 in fresh Kaduna attack. We have that on page 27. Nigeria doomed without a new constitution. We have that on page 8. Okay, and there we have in front, we have images of the fallen soldiers, photos as released in the defense headquarters, by the defense headquarters. And below that on the left, we have SSANU, NASU, ground versities over withheld salaries. We have that on page 9. Beneath that, we have undersea cable cut. Service now restored. Telcos, NCC confirmed. We have that on page 8. And yeah, so that's what we have majorly at the front of The Guardian. Mike, what would you say piqued your attention?
You sure so you know where Alpha. Okay, I'm still trying to get some of the stories here. Which did you take just now? I just trying to go.
Vanguard.
Okay, Punch. Let's do the Punch now. Yeah. Army and Delta community defer over reprisal as troops arrest 20. That's talking about the aftermath of the very sad incident in Delta State. The rider underneath that headline goes on to say, Army accuses community of complicity. DHQ releases photos and names of fallen soldiers. May they so rest in peace. We condole with their families and friends. Delta governor visits Okwama, meets with JTF commander, Rep, urges restraint, and IYC condemns attack. And you can see the picture story there. Yeah. This is the picture story of all the fallen soldiers. Yeah. And this is sad to see. And like we said, we commiserate and condole with everybody, every one of them, their families and their friends. Very sad one there. All right. Just above the flag of Punch there, dollar supply rises to $11 billion. And Naira closes at 1,572 to the dollar. Cable cut. Telcos pledge 100% voice data services today. They don't catch the shark, we go chop the cable.
The cable.
Reps summon Edun and RMAFC over judges' poor pay. All of that tension in Ogun as transport unions clash over ticket sales. 87 abducted in fresh Kaduna raid. Borno bomber dies. The EFCC uncovers 324 houses and documents for Kanu pensioners. All of this on the Punch newspaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this whole Delta situation literally just got me.
Very
I mean, it's really sad.
The pictures there of those who fallen, and I do it. And as much as we talk about how this has happened in North, have they fought back that way? It's no excuse. It's no excuse. I mean, two wrongs. That it happens or they didn't reprise it. You don't know the current situation of things, as it were.
Of course.
It's the North has been a war zone for a very long while. The military have done what they can. But having to see someone who goes to serve, who goes to protect lives in such a manner, quite very sad. So we should not try to excuse it by talking about whatever happened in some other place.
It's really sad anyways. Moving on now to The Guardian, we have inflation and rising construction costs. We have low middle class defer. Home ownership plans for food. We have that on page 6. To the right there, beside the infographics. For the infographics, we have with 30% of income needed for mortgage, it's difficult for workers earning 100,000 naira to own a home. And to the right of that, we have February food inflation, 37.92%. And to the right of that, we have courts convict 5 for murder, kidnapping in Rivers. We have that on page 8. Settle Nasu. SANU members urgently. NLC tells governments. We have that on page 3. And to the left there, we have Tinubu meets Edo APC chiefs over state crisis. We have that on page 5. Below, we have Sanwo-Olu, ex-governors, others call for new constitution. We have that on page 7. Terrorism, Ohaneze cautions Tinubu as gunmen abduct dozens in fresh Kaduna attack. We have that on page 6. Looting depicts misrule, misery, and decadence in society. We have that on page 12. And down the strip there, we have implementation hurdles for QPS provisions in new electricity acts. We have that on page 4. Metering gaps remain despite 273.3 billion naira loan to discos for meters. Others, we have that on page 2. I think what catches my attention here, I mean, a lot catches my attention here, but then again, talking about the call for a new constitution. I remember literally being in law school, even in Uniben, right, during my law classes, and we were going through the constitution, and then we were wondering, like, these laws, they were written, first of all, they were fashioned.
These things were in the 50s,
They
60s.
were written like a long time ago, fashioned
Every
majorly
generation, you should be talking about promulgating new laws and all that, pulling all of that together.
Yeah. I mean, some have been amended, adjusted, but then again, majorly.
You know the question? I think
of it.
It's the U.S. House. I think it's the Senate that, as at one particular point now, don't quote me, where you had over 70% of lawmakers who actually had something to do with law in their college days and all of that, as it were there. But over here, I don't know what percentage of our lawmakers actually studied law or had anything to do with law.
They just pass it.
I don't know if that percentage, but I know it's not that high.
Yeah.
You know, so when people who understand law and was in charge of laws, they may be like, you had that feeling and you know that this is outdated.
Yeah, of course.
If you were there, you probably think about it.
Yeah, because thinking about it now, the Constitution is not a joke. Anyone who's sitting there to actually redo that, the person has to literally be, the person needs, like, it's not based on, there are a whole lot of information that literally resources the formation and formulation of the Constitution. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be thorough work. So, whoever
it is. Whichever
put on that. So, what about panel?
All right.
They decide to rise.
All right. Chef T's around, yeah?
Yes, she is. And we have Titi also standing there. How far? What's happening in the kitchen? What's this alpha in my mouth today?
All right. Welcome back to the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen for a Tuesday. And who do we have? The one and only Chef Tina. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's always a pleasure having you. You feel like part of our furniture.
You know.
Our fabric. Everything. We remember great things, especially your tall red cap. I missed that hat.
You know, I was just talking about that
Really?
a few days ago to a colleague. I said,
Oh.
man, this cap, eh?
People remember it, don't they?
Titi, there's something I need to do today. I think I should come.
No. Okay, I can take off my own heels for you. Maybe I'll take off my heels for you, but not to worry. They remember that hat for a reason because every time you came to the kitchen, you made something spectacular.
Yeah.
What are we making today?
Okay. Someone asked me, I said I'm making native pot amala,
Native pot amala.
a.k.a. abula.
Abula. Okay. So this is the type of amala we get at Owambe.
Yes, you know that
Party
kind of
amala.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. So it's different from what we get from maybe like a local buka.
Yeah.
Okay, so a local buka, they serve it parap. You're still going to do that, right? Okay, we're going to go over the ingredients right now and then get to work. First of all,
These are yam flour.
yam flour, aka elubo. Elubo. Now, this yam flour, I've never been able to tell which one is richer than another because it's almost always the same color, almost always the same texture. There's no impurities, there's no difference. But how do you know the one that's going to come out dark brown? How do you know the one that's going to come out light brown? I don't know.
The truth is that if you want to get the one that will come out dark brown, you go to the market and get it, then process it yourself.
Oh.
Yes, those ones they sell,
okay.
they mix with lafun, they call it. Yeah.
Okay. So
For
they
it to
mix
have
white amala and
the black
dark
amala
amala.
together.
So if you take the yam chips themselves, the
then
dried ones.
The dried one, then you process it, like get it dried.
Okay.
And you now blend on your own.
Okay, all right. Thank you for the advice. Thank you. Yam flour here.
Then we have our locust beans, iru.
Which type of iru is this?
This one is, there's iru woro and
Yes.
iru pete.
Okay.
This is pete.
Bete. So iru woro is what they use for
Ofada.
ofada
Yes.
and efo.
Efo.
Efo iru.
Yes.
So you can't use pete for efo.
You can actually use it. I prefer that because of the strong smell.
Okay.
Fair
All
that.
right. So this is not the dark one. This is the lighter one.
Yes.
Now we have pepper mix
We have
here.
our pepper mix.
What type of pepper is in this?
There is Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh tomatoes. Then I have my tatashe in there.
Tatashe. All right. Smoothly blended.
Smoothly blended.
All the way down.
Yes.
It's not. You don't want chunks in it.
No, because
all
it's
right.
stew.
All right then. Now our meat. What have we done to the meat so far?
I cooked. I always like pre-cooking my things, so
Okay.
you know
So
it will
this
get
is-
going. We
this-
have the assorted meat. See roundabout now.
Yeah, roundabout, assorted. Is that liver?
Yes.
Liver, shaki, and the rest.
Yeah.
Now,
Then our onions, seasoning cubes, salt, palm oil. Then this is our ewedu.
ewedu. Okay, so let's talk about this ewedu now. So I even grow ewedu in my garden. That's how much I like ewedu. But
Really?
mine never gets as green as this. Mine is a little browner
Brown.
when I cook it. It still tastes great, but that green color. How do you get that?
What I do basically, once I get my ewedu, I'm going to wash. Then I just put it in the heat, just a little while, maybe like 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
Get it cooked. Then I will now blend it. In that way, I'll get it like this.
Okay, so you heat up the leaf
up.
full.
Yes.
You don't blend before heating.
No.
Okay.
Before now, I used to blend, and I noticed that I don't get this green. You know, you
Okay.
keep researching to
Yeah.
get the best. So
Okay.
one day I decide to just go through this process, and I find out that it's actually, this is since yesterday night.
Wow.
And it's still like
And it's
this.
still going to draw.
Yes.
Fantastic. That's all I need to hear. Then the last ingredient is already on the heat.
This is our
blended beans.
Blended beans.
Right? So cooked blended beans. Have you added anything to it?
No, the only thing I have in here I cooked, then I'll blend.
Okay.
I had crayfish and my onions in here.
Crayfish and onions. Now we have to take a quick break. Chef Tina has us covered. She also has an event called the Ikorodu Food Festival coming up. We're going to be talking about that after this break. Stay with us.
Lagos is the most visited state in Africa as the 5th largest economy on the continent. Covering the state and its government is no mean feat, it's a busy beat. We go beyond the curtain of tapes to traveling far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos State government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
We tell you stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Welcome back. And of course, on Tuesdays, we definitely talk about parenting. And right now, we're talking about the art and outcome of family values. And discussing this with me today is Aderonke Fashiru, a seasoned professional dedicated to empowering individuals to become exceptional leaders. Aderonke has honed her expertise in soft skills development, focusing on etiquette, emotional intelligence, and leadership. She is the author of 2 influential books, The Leader in You and Poise for Beginners. Welcome back to Wake Up Nigeria.
Thank you so much.
It's amazing having you here.
Same here.
Yeah. Okay, so today we're talking about the art, right, of family values. So let me start by saying, what are family values?
Okay, thank you for having me again. Always a pleasure to be here. So family values are like a set of moral principles that guide the way a home should be run. And everything you do to build the harmony in the home, like organizations have core values that governs their attitude, behavior, process. It's the same thing with families, just making sure we have a set of tenets that all of us must follow, including dad and mom.
Including that, very, very important to mention that. Okay, so now what would you say that these values are literally intentionally set? You say, okay, fine, all of us, let's sit down. Father, mother, children, these are our values. This is how we follow them and all of that. This is what it means. Or, because I know a lot of people, I mean, people just leave.
Assume.
In fact, it just happens, you get? Until, okay, fine, a couple gets married, they start having kids, and then life just goes on, you get? They don't necessarily take the time out to actually set. So how would you say is best set? Okay,
so I want to refer you to the Asian continent. I think as far as family is concerned, we have a lot to learn from those people. They've refused to open up to innovations that come into family and break their values, break their ideologies. So what I think is the proper thing is for a couple, maybe at the time they're dating, part of the conversations they should have should be how we intend to raise our children. And those values must be established before the children are born.
True.
Before the children even come. If you build the values as they grow, then there's the likelihood of the environment having stronger influence and your values remaining in your home. So that's one. Number two, the values must be clearly expressed. So I went to see a friend one day, her name is Dolapo Oyeshino, and I got to her house and saw very, very, very boldly inscribed on the wall, Oyeshino's core values. I mean, it meant a lot to me, about 17 things.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if her children just seem to do, toe the same line. And so to answer your question, I would say it must never be assumed. We've got to be intentional about it. And just like they do routine maintenance for aeroplanes, there must be times where you open a bit, you explain a little more. So when a child is 10, you say, I didn't tell you this when you were 5 because of so, but this is why we do this. So it has to be periodic. It must be evaluated. There must be room for it to be updated so that the children have an impact and have an input in it as well.
Amazing. Okay, so now I'd like to ask for examples of these values, but let me not ask yet, right? Now let's talk about where these values should come from. Okay. So as you said, from the Asian community, I've watched a number of their movies, and like it is literally their backbone. So like they're so, and that's because it's been passed down from generations to generations. Yes. So would you say that is literally where it should come from, like from your parents and all of that? And then if you're in a situation where that wasn't necessarily so clear, how can you go about it?
Okay, so if it's fine with you, I'd like to use my family as an example. So I married into the Fashiru family, and they are big on family values. I mean, I didn't meet my father-in-law, but I can almost write a book about him because I see him in his children. Okay, so my husband has a number of men ahead of him, and those men are a replica of everything their father stood for. And I would say the matriarch of the family, their mom, I mean, you get into the Fashiru family and you just align. You don't struggle to fit in. You don't struggle to find your voice. You just align because there's a way things are done. There's a way the children are supposed to. So I'll share some of the values. One of it is honor. So in that family, they pride so much around honor. And it's not about who's older or who is first or who did this first. It's just important that you find yourself in a position of honor and you honor everybody around you. Honor around respect for other people, very, very important. So when we have gatherings, we are eager to see one another. We are eager to do something that will trip the next person because, I mean, it's just us. Another one is excellence. So they tell we the wives that there's a Fashiru brain, like we're privileged to be in that family.
I love it.
like you don't get surprised when you hear that one Fashiru is doing something else because the Fashiru blood is synonymous with excellence. So my children just understand that there's something about the name. I mean, I tell them this name will not break on your own account. I mean, we've been building the name up to this time. Yeah. So I would also say the worth of a good name is something that we hold dear. So it's important that the key makers, key stakeholders, I beg your pardon, in a family, father, mom, the children as they grow up, they discuss these things. So I feel family values enhances communication in the home, it enhances harmony, and it breaks societal values. One of the reasons why some certain orientations can't get into a particular place is because the family has taken their position. Yes. I personally believe the solution to our problem in Nigeria is fixing the families.
Of course, I know it said, like, the family is the core unit. Yeah. Right? And when you can look at when you see the society, you can literally tell where the issues are. Because once the family is right, definitely everyone is coming from a family. Do you understand? Now, I have to ask this question, which may actually seem quite, I don't know, sensitive, maybe, in your situation now. So we're talking about you getting married to a family that have their values in place. Now, what does that do to your own personal values?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I got into the family, I had my values. So I was looking for a situation where I wouldn't be starting everything entirely new. Okay. So I was looking to get into a place where aligning would just be helping me to become a better version of myself. Okay. And that was what I found getting into that family.
So it was kind of aligned, right?
Oh, your values. A lot. The only challenge is those who are, the children born into Fashiru families, like a very tall order. Very tall order. So for you to fit in, I hear some of my nieces, my married, say to me, you know, because I mean, there's a certain way. Like I'm an HR practitioner, and I know that there's something called a work personality. In our family, there's a Fashiru personality.
What you're saying is giving me so much joy. And okay, so now for people out there who are not used to these things, but they actually really want to cultivate these values and make them as core and with so much identity that we can match the name, right? How would you advise they go about that?
Okay, so thank you for that. I would say the last time, that tree beside your house, if you admire it so much, you didn't have a chance to be there when it was planted. But if you love it so much and you want to replicate, you have to do something now and stop wishing. So instead of wishing and hoping and assuming that the Messiah will come and fix the family, we've got to be intentional. We've got got to be practical. So family values are so practical. They are tangible. Those values are intangible, but the act has to be tangible. So it's a good time to sit down and talk about it. Nobody should impose his or her personal values on another person. It has to be shared responsibility, shared values. Sit down and agree, this is what we think we should do. And once we agree, it has to be written down. Then we must create moments. So I like the aircraft space, and I like the fact that one of the reasons why we don't have frequent issues of crashes is because of the routine maintenance. Yeah, so I think families should also adopt a system of routine maintenance. Again, in Fashion family, we have a practice of doing December together, and we don't just go there to eat. We go there to see that our ideologies are strengthened. So one child doesn't surprise us from anywhere. So I think it's important for families to sit down, create these things, and look for ways of updating it by allowing everybody to have an input into it.
So yes, now on that, resting on that, now is my next question. Now, talking about everyone having an input into it, right? Whose core responsibility would you say it is to uphold the family values? Mother or the father?
That's a very dicey question, and that's a challenge to the men out there. I would say if the men rise up to it, the job will be a lot easier. It's twice as difficult if it has to be the job of a woman. But if it has to be the job of a woman, then she might just try to look for creative ways, because the children that we are building are children. It's his future and my future. If I assume he's not doing it and I feel, oh, let me do something else, I'm going to leave that future with him. It's just important that we're humble enough to accept that this would help the family and we do it together.
All right, amazing. So one last time, give us examples of those core values which you think will actually help any family.
Okay, thank you so much. So I would say respect for people. It's important that as children start to express themselves, start to relate with one another, they understand that there's a need for respect. They don't assume respect will come. It's true that respect is reciprocal, but respect should start from you. I choose to say respect must start from me. So respect for people, that aligns a lot with the mental health issues, because you're thinking of somebody else instead of just saying how you feel. The way you say it is very important. So respect for people. I also want to say consistency. So over the weeks, I've fallen in love with discipline and consistency. I believe even if you have no talents, and you just decide to start a habit and you're disciplined, you do better than somebody with a bundle of talent. So I love discipline, I love consistency, and then I love people who have value for time. I don't respect people who just feel, let us just do it. When we get there, we'll cross it. I don't like that proverb or that statement. So I value people who understand that time is an asset. So value for time is important. And there should be a flavor of excellence. If it's not excellent, then forget about it.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Amazing. As in, this session has literally been very revolutionary, and definitely I implore all of you out there to try it out. Get your family values on check. This is very, very important. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much for literally having this time with us. We literally have one more week, right? Yes, next week, and we'll definitely be seeing you next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
All right. That's it right here for now. Still so much more happening right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Do not touch that dial. We'll be right back.
TVC Communications, Nigeria's leading independent broadcast company, has been officially designated as a great place to work. Over the past 3 years, we have transformed our workplace into one which is respectful, caring, rewarding, and provides great benefits to all our 500 employees. We thank our team for giving us the chance to show that partnership between employer and employee really works. TVC Communications, officially designated as a great place to work, and now the only broadcasting and media company, not just in Nigeria, but throughout continental Africa, to be fully certified. TVC Communications, a great Nigerian company, a great Nigerian place to work.
So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder what men talk about when they gather. Well, here goes. Imagine what it takes to put together the perfect cocktail. Or maybe mocktail. We need a bit of sports, a sprinkling of current affairs, some very deep topical issues, and last but not the least, a healthy dose of grumbling of those we love to hate. And yes, you guessed it, women. So, if you catch the drift, then you're onto something. We will provide you with the right insights into most of your curiosities, right here within this beautiful cocktail we call the Black Table. So, have you ever wondered what happens behind the curtains of a man's mind? Or perhaps you're one of those who wonder
intend to create the most worthwhile experience with every single moment, making everything we do specially curated for you.
Woo!
Yeah?
Oh God, just as I saw, just like roses, all right? As I said roses now, my heart is just because I'm under.
Somebody wants you to give them roses.
Ah, Titi, really? We'll talk now. We'll talk. I'll need your help, wow. Winfrey.
Wow.
Okay. It's not me. It's somebody that is. It's a serious one. It's a community. Roses. It's a community thing.
Really?
It's something. It's a what do you call this thing? When intervention.
Oh.
That's the word. So we'll get to that.
Intervention to make him more romantic, maybe.
I'm not talking again.
Okay, well, just like roses that you mentioned, roses, they're actually rose fossils that date back 35 million years. And the oldest living rose is 1,000 years old.
Oh, wow.
Now, you are all special and unique to us. That's why we will always provide the best for you.
All right. We give you all the best. We take you through the vicissitudes, the highs and the lows to bring all the things bright and wonderful to you. Still a lot more to come on the show. Of course, we've been doing a lot so far. If you are just joining us, you've missed one full hour. You should be worried a bit, but we've still got 45 minutes more of excitement. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinson. Remember, you can use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian TV. You can also watch us live from absolutely anywhere across the world through our mobile app, available on iOS and Google Play. You
definitely need internet connection to do that. Well, that is if shark has not eaten your own cable under the sea. Under the sea. Life there is better.
Wow, really? You don't
take it from me. All right, of course, you can hit us up. It's at tvcentertainment _. That's where you can hit us up on all social media platforms. We have a whole lot. We've had a wonderful... I'm looking forward to the performance, by the way. Because he's always around whenever it comes to the Ramadan period to give us a wonderful performance, of course. And that performance is going to be by Hib Adis, who has been, serenading us during the Ramadan period.
I am a rising star. Oh, oh, oh. I am a rising star. Oh, oh, oh. I am a rising star. Oh, oh, oh. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ ni mí. Ibi táyé rò pé mi ò lè dé, mo máa débẹ̀. Ibi tọ́ta rò pé mi ò lè.
Wellness coach. Our wellness coach, Rami, is going to be here, an esteemed wellness coach and distinguished senior faculty from the Art of Living Institution. Now he is, over the past 20 years, he's been involved with this organization, and he's served as a catalyst for profound transformation for many different individuals. The importance of mindfulness is what we're talking about today. Yeah.
So,
go ahead. Go ahead.
So, I know a lot of times I've literally joined several yoga classes, right? And of course, the International Women's Day, we had Rami.
Yes,
You tell us the importance of mindfulness. However,
wait. Rami.
Mike.
Yes.
He's a guy.
Yes.
Yes.
It was, yeah, yes.
The one I saw there.
You see, when you make
No
yourself...
wonder all of you are so happy. Titi was smiling from...
I'm shaking my head for you.
Yeah.
When you make yourself important to the female gender, we will include you.
He didn't come alone.
Have you seen Rami?
I was
He
there.
didn't come for the event.
I'm saying, I cannot you and Titi, three of you.
Please, we're 3 married women. What are you talking about?
And that's where the problem is.
Wow. Anyways, what I was trying to say is, so yesterday I was actually reading a book that literally puts the whole idea of mindfulness into perspective, right? So it literally said, imagine trying to park a car that's going at 120 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to park it, like just parking it at that speed.
Fast and Furious.
So you'd have to... You know, I know you understand what drifting is.
Yes, of course.
So you
it
have to
literally
drift
says,
into a parking
so that's
spot.
literally what your body's doing throughout the entire day.
Wow.
Right? And then for best delivery later on and maintenance, you can continue to do that. I know my husband who loses his car almost every weekend.
Wow.
Because of all those kind of things, right? You have to maintain. He loses his cars. Once my husband is at home, he's not flying, he's under the car.
Wow.
Losing something, tightening something, changing one thing, and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah, so because of the speed and all of that, right? So the same thing your body does. So at the point before you go to bed, you have to literally rein it in, slow down, and then
you can't just park the car.
So that's what mindfulness does.
So in other words, you can't just park the car and expect to have full sleep.
Of course.
You have to tone everything down. Yeah. Take a moment. So
do the 4-7-8 roll, breathing roll. Breathing,
that day,
4
right?
seconds.
Yeah.
Was it Rami that?
Breathe. Hold it 7 seconds.
Hold it 7
release
seconds.
For 8. You're a terrible person.
We should bring and 3 of you to handle that interview because
wow.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it's something that we definitely can learn from when it comes to mindfulness. All right. Okay, let's take a look at what the day's weather will be like, and of course the rest of the week.
The Wake Up Nigeria kitchen is up again with Chef Tina. Okay, what are we making? Amala. Abula. With gbegiri.
We have the ewedu there.
Yeah, ewedu and gbegiri. So, gbegiri for me, the first time I had gbegiri, I'm putting it on the heat now. We took it off the heat so we could show you how it's put together. So this is beans, cooked beans.
We washed it first, like the moi moi.
Yeah. Did you remove the skins?
Yes.
Okay, you removed the skins.
Then we now cooked it, made it very soft.
Okay.
I cooked it with onions. Then when I wanted to blend it, I added little crayfish to it.
Fantastic.
So, Winifred was asking, he said, why is it still like this?
Yeah.
This is what we do. People have been looking for that twist.
That twist, yeah?
About the...
So you've added palm oil now.
Added palm oil. So you can see the gbegiri.
Yes, that's the color that we're used to.
Yeah.
I was trying to tell a story. So the first time I had gbegiri, it wasn't with amala. It was with tuwo.
Wow.
Yes. So as a child, I think between the age of, I think I was a teenager, probably 12, 13. We used to buy tuwo shinkafa, and they used to serve it with gbegiri and ewedu. I didn't know it would work with amala until when I was a lot older.
Wow.
So it was always ewedu and stew, but no gbegiri for amala for me when I was growing up.
Really?
So I feel like this is more of a new twist.
To you?
Yeah, to me. That's how it feels. It still feels new.
Wow.
Yeah. But I think I have to figure out how to make tuwo again. I don't really know how to make it myself.
Really?
But how long do we still need to wait on this gbegiri to be done now?
Do you know amazing part of it? Once you pre-cook, and you blend, let's say like 3 minutes is okay.
3 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we have 3 minutes on the gbegiri now. The ewedu has been warmed up. It is nice and green and is drawing well.
Then we have our stew.
Ooh, look at the stew looking nice and red. That is the combo of colors that we like to see at a buka. Now, this is the part I need to see. Because this is the work. This is the real work. All right. So the yam flour, or should we call it elubo?
Elubo.
Did you put it into cold water or into hot water?
I just pour it direct when my water was already boiled.
Okay, when your water was boiling.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how do you get the lumps out? Because that's usually the challenge when people are making amala.
The truth is that it's not everyone that can make amala.
Okay.
Like, seriously. It's not everyone. And once you start from the beginning, there's no how it will have lumps.
Okay.
And you know those ones that they have in the buka that they will now bring the pots down, they have to.
Yeah.
I don't go through that process.
It's
what
long.
I just know that it's good to know it right.
Okay.
So
the process is the water is hot, you add the powder to it.
Then you just keep stirring.
Just keep stirring.
You keep stirring so it will you will not have lumps. But if you don't stir almost immediately, you can't run away from it.
You can't run away from the lumps. All right. So I know that there's another process now that's more modern where they use electric mixers to do it. You even see it on TV, those big industrial mixers. You see them with the big bowls. Does that change the taste, in your opinion, from the hand-turned amala?
Not really. Everything, the way things are out there now is just the easiest process. Nobody's ready to spend much time in the kitchen. I had an order, and I catered for an event. They wanted me to make pounded yam.
Wow.
And the lady was like, she wants that pounded yam from the mortar.
Wow.
And I told her, there's no problem, I'll do that for you.
Okay, no problem.
So, doing that, I brought out the mortar. I tried the first, the second batch. The third one has lumps, so let me not lie.
Wow, woo. Because the stress.
The stress of, when there's a, you can use food processor to make pounded yam. And
there even yam pounding machines now.
Yes, there's yam pounding machine. It's been there, years.
I know.
When I was little, that's what we were using.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. Now, for you making this at home, you want to make your own abula and gbegiri, please check out the ingredients. Now we have assorted meat, pepper mix, ewedu, beans, palm oil, seasoning cubes, salt, iru, onions, and of course, yam flour. Now, when it comes to these ingredients, they're easy to find in the market. You might even already have them at home.
At home, yeah.
Chef Tina has us covered. While we take a quick break, don't worry, food is ready. Chef Tina is here. All right, then stay with us.
Ramadan, the 9th month in Islamic calendar, is here again. This is a wonderful time to learn more about Islam and give to the cause of Allah. It's also a time when extra emphasis is on charity and good neighborliness. From the first day to the last day of Ramadan, join us on TVC from 3 to 6 a.m. every day for Ramadan Kareem, recitation of verses in the Quran, tafsir by great Islamic scholars. Ask the Sheikh for clarity on Ramadan and Islam. What's more, you can learn and win great prizes on the Ramadan quiz segment, all spiced up with soul-stirring nasheed.
Asking for a sign from you, 'cause I'm so broke inside.
Ramadan Kareem on TVC from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day in Ramadan. To participate, call or visit our marketing department, TVC Communication.
Welcome to Pure Entertainment. What would you like to order from our menu today? We have the regular.
So let me go and for my jammies. So
My 220 was 320. I suppose don't be one medical.
At this point, I contest my jammies.
I want to close the show.
I can go. I can.
That's all we can take. Ejeki, close the show, G Fadalo.
Ladies and gentlemen, number one, Unavailable by Davido featuring Musa Keys.
We also have today's chef special.
Yo, shine, shiny, yeah. So here, recap done, and it's time for number one on the countdown. One of Nigeria's hottest artists right now, his name is Rema, and this one is called Charm. Kick it.
Another.
For dessert and a bit of nightcap, we have the nighttime and online specials.
I want to start the gym, yeah? But do you know one thing that's actually keeping me back?
You should start the gym to get fat.
Cricket.
She says she does pole dancing to empower women.
This week.
Welcome back. It's time for a performance at this point right here on Wake Up Nigeria. Islamic hip-hop artist and friend of the house, Hibadis, is back. Now, he is presently the CEO of Omoilori Original Entertainment, and he's performing his latest track. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, I say salam alaikum, my people. Peace be unto you. It's your boy Adi, Islamic hip-hop number one, Omo Musulumi.
You're definitely ready to perform.
Yeah.
Tell us about this new track.
Yeah, this new track is titled Rising Star.
Okay.
This is like a dream come true, because when an artist is able to sleep, create something new, and is able to bring it together and project it to the world. So I know you're gonna enjoy what I'm gonna sing right now. Rising Star means I'm a rising star.
Yes, you are a rising star. And we can't wait to see this performance. Once again, Hibadis with Rising Star.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am a rising star. Oh. I am a rising star. Oh. am a rising star. Oh, I am a rising star. Oh, ìmọ́lẹ̀ ni mí. Ibi táyé rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Ibi tọ́ta rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Ibi tẹ́bí rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Mo máa kọjá ibẹ̀ ògo mi máa dẹ̀ tún búyọ. Fabiyale Robi Kumotu Kaziban. Fabiyale Robi Kumotu Kaziban. Fabiyale Robi Kumotu Kaziban. Ìmọ́lẹ̀ mi tán, mo dá láyọ̀. Mo ti ṣoríire àwọn èèyàn ń pè mí ní Adébáyọ̀. Mo ti dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run ọ̀rọ̀ mi ti já sáyọ̀. Mọ̀rọ̀ búkà ta ló lọ́ọ́ bá ẹ, ta ló bí ẹ, ta ló dá ẹ, ta ló mú ẹ wáyé. Mo ti ráyé, mo ti gbáyé, mo ti ṣáyé láyé. Rọ́bì sídìí ní hílì mọ́, èmi ni ọmọ tí ẹ ti mọ̀. Èmi ni mo ń jọlá Muhammad, mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí òkìkí mi hàn. You can't stop me, Allah build me, never mind how it's gonna be. Fabiyale Robi Kumotu Kaziban. I am a rising star. I am a rising star. I am a rising star. I really need myself right now. I am a rising star. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu nuru samawati wal harda. Mashalu nurihi kamishikati fi'a. Misibao fi sujadati. Sujadati kana haka ukabuduri. Yukodu mishadarati mubarakati. Zaitunati la sherikiyati. Wala garibiyati yakadi zaituha. Yudihu wa lam tamusasihu. Nuru hala nuri yedillahu. Linuri mayasha wa yedribu lahu. Amshala linasi wallahu. Bikuli shayin Halima. Ibi táyé rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Ibi tọ́ta rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Ibi tẹ́bí rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Mo máa kọjá ibẹ̀ ògo mi máa dẹ̀ tún búyọ. Ibi táyé rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Ibi tọ́ta rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Ibi tẹ́bí rò pé mi ò lè dé mo máa débẹ̀. Mo máa kọjá ibẹ̀ ògo mi máa dẹ̀ tún búyọ. Fabiyale Robi Kumotu Kaziban. Fabiyale Robi Kumotu Kaziban. Fabiyale Robi Kumotu Kaziban. I am a rising star.
All right. Now, if there's one thing we are passionate about on Wake Up Nigeria, it is food. So when we hear about a food festival in Lagos, we're always eager to find out a lot more, and we know you are too. And to do that, we have Chef Norris and Chef Dolasis right here on the couch with us. And they're here to talk about the Ikorodu Food Festival. Welcome to the show.
Yo, thank you. Good morning.
All right, so both of you are chefs.
Yes.
Yep. Chefs. Okay, so chefs, Ikorodu Food Festival. How did this all come to be? How did it begin? Let us know.
Oh, well, it was an idea from one of us. Okay. And we felt it would be nice that we give Lagosians a taste, a native taste, you know, try to see how we can bring back those native meals that have been missed due to migration.
Okay.
So we said, okay, fine. Ikorodu is a good hub where everybody is, so let's have that there.
All right, then. Now, specifically Ikorodu this time.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to do the food festival in Ikorodu?
Well, from time, let's say recently or so, Ikorodu has not had any food festival before.
Okay.
So it's like opening Ikorodu to the world, because people don't believe things like this can happen in Ikorodu.
Okay.
And it's like a local domain, and because we are coming in with our local cuisine, we think Ikorodu will be our best avenue for starters.
All right, fantastic. Now, what do we expect from this food festival? Now, you've mentioned native meals. Is there a certain number of chefs, or is there a certain set of activities specific to this event? Talk to us.
Okay, for this project, it's more of food vendors coming to showcase.
Okay.
Going down to those who do the very native or local meals.
Okay.
There'll be entertainment there too.
Okay.
Music, there'll be dance competition, there'll be eating, drinking.
All right.
It's going to be a fun day, 3 days. It's going to be 29th, 30th, and 31st.
3 days?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all fun, of food, of networking too. So,
all right.
People.
So I can see you've really thought this out. 3 days of activities there. The food vendors, is it still open to vendors, by the way, or is it closed?
Yes, it's still open.
It's open to vendors. So if anyone wants to come and get a stand, they can still do that?
Yes, they can reach out to us.
Okay, fantastic. But is it only for cooked food, or is it for also dry ingredients and dry foods, grains and stuff like that? What can I display if I come?
Okay, so when we say food festival, we are generalizing food.
Okay.
We are not just restricting to cooked food or cooked meals and things like that. And we want vendors that have dry foods, that have spices.
Okay.
We would love them to come in, because the guests that we're expecting, they should have a field of varieties. Okay. They should have grace to buy things home, spices they would not normally see in the stores and things like that. So it's open to anything food.
Okay. Usually whenever people hear of fairs or festivals, they expect to be able to buy things at very low prices. So I have to ask, we know how the economy is.
Exactly.
This is Ikorodu, and it's not considered an area where, you know, there's a lot of spending going to happen, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not trying to say people in Ikorodu have money. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. What I said, you don't imagine people at Ikorodu going to do a lot of spending. But here at the food festival, can we expect good prices?
Yes, very good prices at affordable prices.
Okay.
We're also working with some brands who are making their products available to our food vendors, so thereby crashing the price as much as possible.
Okay.
You can get to an extent of the 50% discount, but that's based on the brands coming in. So we have a couple of brands we want to support, and if you're okay, the best way to do is to looking at the economy, of course. Instead of spending so much, you get maybe up to 50% discount on each meal.
Wow.
We are still open to more brands coming up.
To support
the program.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an outdoor venue, yes?
Yes, an outdoor venue.
Where is it happening?
Ikorodu Town Hall.
Ikorodu Town Hall.
Car park,
Okay. So
Very
it has
big.
a car park? It's
very big.
Massive.
Very
All right, so I've never been there. This would be an opportunity for me to see
a big opportunity.
Ikorodu Town Hall. I love the idea. I love it. It's going to be outdoors for 3 days.
3 days, yes.
Okay.
3 days of fun.
Easter weekend.
Yes.
That's very key. I was actually going to say, is it a public holiday? Because if you have an event for 3 days, you expect people to be able to come in at any time. So from what time to what time are we open?
9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
9 a.m. to 6 p.m. All right. So at the Ikorodu Town Hall, we're going to come, we're going to see loads of different types of food. And we're going to meet some chefs.
Yes.
Any competitions going on during the events?
We have plans for competitions, but not necessarily for chefs.
Okay.
Yes.
Because chefs are already, they've made their names and their brands.
Yeah.
We want upcoming people that aspire to be chefs to come up, and we just want to encourage them and push them on.
Fantastic. I can't wait for the amazing pictures that are going to come out of this event. I can't wait to post and repost them myself. And of course, if you want to find out more about it, you can just visit them on Instagram. That's Ikorodu Food Festival. Chef Tina is a huge part of this, and we've been cooking and talking with Chef Tina in the kitchen. Now, anything Chef Tina is, look at the Amala. Hey, the Abula is getting there. It's getting there. I can't wait. And we're going to see loads of stuff like that at the food festival as well. Okay, then let's take a quick break. We'll be back. There's still more on Wake Up Nigeria.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Lagos is the most visited state in Africa as the 5th largest economy on the continent. Covering the state and its government is no mean feat, it's a busy beat. We go beyond the curtain of tapes to traveling far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos State government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
We tell you stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
We have an esteemed wellness coach and distinguished senior faculty member at the esteemed Art of Living Institution. Now, over the course of 2 decades, he has been involved with several organizations as a catalyst for the profound transformation of countless individuals. And today, our topic is the importance of mindfulness, being in the moment. Rami is in the house. It is great to have you. You are welcome.
Hi, thank you so much.
Now, I see why all the ladies were so excited about International Women's Day and all of that. We're going to be talking about all of that. But, you know, we're talking about mindfulness. First of all, when you say mindfulness, that term, what do we mean by mindfulness?
You know, if you ask me, mindfulness is an oxymoron. So when the mind is full, it is always thinking about something else, about whatever is there. So I think it should be more about having an empty mind. Because when the mind is empty, when there is no stress, when you're more centered, more balanced, automatically it's more in the moment, experiencing what is happening around you.
Wonderful. Now, so how does one stay in the moment, as it were? Considering that, I mean, we are in a society where you have to think of the future so much.
Yes.
A lot of times, some people even about the past.
Yes.
But then you're talking about staying in the moment, and that's a hard thing for a lot of people to do.
Yes. So you know, thinking about the future or the past is not bad. It's okay. It's good to plan. It's good to learn from our mistakes as well. But the issue is when the mind gets stuck in the past. If there is some trauma and the mind gets stuck in that trauma in the past. Or if there is some anxiety about the future and the mind gets stuck in the future, that is when we miss the moment. You know? That's why, you know, being the moment is so underrated, because, you know, it's like buying a ticket to a movie and sitting with your eyes and your ears closed. So when you're not in the moment, or rather when the mind is not in the moment, you're missing out on life. Missing out on moments with your children, with your family, at work, with your colleagues, with your friends, maybe on your vacation. So when you're aware, you know, if you notice in the day, the mind keeps vacillating between the past and the future. This is how the mind is. So when we are a little more aware of this, you notice that, you know, you relax a little, you start observing what is going on, and you know, then you make a step towards making an effort to be more in the moment.
In fact, some people, it's when a moment becomes a memory. That's when some people know that, oh, I actually had a good time, because we're so fixated on the past and the future. So how does one do this practically? How does one try to stay in the moment?
So, you know, controlling the mind with the mind is very difficult. Like if you don't get sleep, you cannot push yourself to sleep. If you are feeling emotional stress, you cannot say, oh, I will not feel that anymore, because it's always there. But you know, the mind has a very deep connection with our breathing. If you notice, whenever you're angry, the rhythm of your breath is different, right? When you're happy, it is different. When you're exercising, it is different. And it is very easy to control our breathing. We can control the in-breath and the out-breath and the flow of the breath. We can lengthen the breath, we can shorten the breath. So if you notice, when we are more relaxed, the breath is much more longer and deeper. When we are anxious, the breath is shorter, yeah. So if we can consciously do some deep breathing in the day, like we have spoken in the last few episodes that we have had here, if we can do some conscious effort to, you know, maybe just for 5 or 7 minutes a day, we practice the box breathing, what you will notice that the mind automatically rests more in the moment, comes back to the moment. So it's about coming back to the moment again and again.
Again. When should we do this? When is the best time to do this sort of breathing exercises?
So you know, the ideal time is when you wake up in the morning before you leave for your work, or even before you start your day. If you can take a few moments just to get that balance, get that focus. Even you can do it in the middle of the day, you know, when you feel a little tired, when you feel that your attention is not there. That's also a good time to do it.
So even at you can take your break from work and do all of that and put it, and then how about at the end of the day?
Yes, definitely, especially when you're going back to your family. You know, we normally carry so much stress back home. Even that's also an excellent time, you know, just before you go home or when you reach home also. If you can take a few moments, just so you're 100% in the moment there for your family as well.
Now, this is basically meditation you're talking about. What are the tools that can help us meditate? Now, there can be a lot of distractions. Maybe there are kids in the house. You might not be alone in the house. Are there tools that can help us steady our mind, put us in the moment, help us for this breathing exercise, help us meditate?
Yes, you know, technology is right there available for us. So we have guided meditations on YouTube. So you can just plug yourself in for 10-15 minutes. Like we listen to music all the time, right? So you're just listening to something for just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it will just effortlessly bring you back to the moment. And you notice that, you know, over a period of time, the more consistent you are with your practice, the mind stays more in the moment effortlessly. That's the idea.
You see, that's the thing, because some people feel like maybe you do it once and you don't seem like there was any impact in some sort of way. How does one keep up that consistency when it seems as though, you know, it doesn't just happen all at once? Because some people try it once and I was still feeling the same way. But you mentioned consistency. How important is it to be consistent with this exercise?
You know, see, we never forget to brush our teeth, right? Or wear the outfit that is appropriate to that day or work. Similarly, you know, mental hygiene is also equally important.
Mental hygiene. I like that term. I like that term, mental hygiene. And that's something that people don't even do at all.
Yes, they don't pay attention to it. They feel that if their appearance is good enough and, you know, they are doing the bit, it is enough. But the more calmer you are, the more centered you are, it makes you even more effective as a leader, as a person, as a spouse, as a friend.
And now I know you have events at Wellness Center and all over. How important is it for people to, you know, have meets or have this kind of events where they can meet with a number of people and Happiness Center, pardon me, and be a part of, you know, a group? Doing this in a group, how important is it to do it in a group?
So you know, when we celebrate or even when we go to watch a sport, it's more fun when we have a group, because when we sit in a group, it uplifts the energy. Even when people go to protest, a person never goes alone, right? He calls his friends and say, oh, let's go and protest.
Let's go together. You need that energy.
So the group energy is always very effective to uplift oneself. And you know, another easy way, like you mentioned, is to do a workshop. Like we have these workshops that happen every weekend. We have a workshop called the Happiness Program, in which we are taught a rhythmic breathing technique that you can practice every day, which again brings your mind back to the moment.
Wonderful.
Then we have another workshop, it's called the Art of Meditation. So, you know, meditation, often you sit with your eyes closed and the entire thoughts in your life just come rushing to you, right?
Can you give us a 30-second demo on how one can easily meditate?
Okay, sure. Okay, so you can just sit with your eyes closed.
Okay.
Now, of course, this is not for the people if they are driving to work right now.
Don't do that.
Very dangerous.
Okay.
Okay, so you can just sit relaxed, just sit with your eyes closed. So you can just observe the noises around you. If there are any noises, just observe the noises.
I can hear Titi.
And just be in harmony with your surrounding. Just let those noises be. Now observe your body. Just be aware of the seat that you're sitting on. Just relax the body a little. Now bring your focus on your breath. Notice the rhythm of your breath. When we breathe in, the body gets energy, and when we breathe out, the body relaxes. Simply be with the breath. And slowly, you may open your eyes.
Titi, your feet. But I do get the idea. You said something about observing the sound around you. When you observe the sound, do you try to push it away, or do you take it
Exactly.
into you?
It's about acceptance. The more relaxed you are,
you accept it.
Yeah, you just let it be. It's like children playing in the house, right? After some time, you don't hear them anymore. They don't bother you. So it's just about letting it be, so that the mind does not get fixated on the outside and just comes more inward.
Wonderful. Rami, I'm looking forward sometime I will visit the Happiness Center, and it's somewhere where people can come to and be a part of it, right?
Sure. Yes,
Wonderful.
definitely. We have events happening every weekend, so you're most welcome.
There's always something at the Happiness Center. I'll recommend it to anyone out there. Thank you, Rami.
Thank you so much.
Rami, after such meditation, I hope you're not fasting. Are you fasting?
Yes, yes.
You're fasting?
Yes.
Ah, well, we'll still get into the kitchen. Maybe just have a pictorial look at our food and just give it a rating just based on what you see.
Okay.
All right, so let's head over to the kitchen. Okay.
Rami.
Wow, morning.
Take a seat. All right, yes, now this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Chef Tina's amazing abula and the begiri.
It looks so good.
It looks so good, right?
That's a Togo flag.
It looks, yeah, it looks like a flag. So many colors and flavors all there in one dish. I love the plate as well.
The native pot.
This is a native pot. It's cast iron, I believe.
Yes.
And it helps to keep it hot for a long period of time. Now, Rami apparently is on a fast right now, so he's not going to be tasting this, but you need to make sure you show up for the food festival and come taste it. Please do, please do. So, Mike, Winnie.
You want to try, one of you should try that. Let's,
Mike, I think it's
Jenny.
you.
Mike?
Jenny,
Mike is you. No?
What? Mike, you know you want to.
I can feed you.
I will.
Yeah, what?
All right. Well, I'm going to taste it because Chef Tina always blows my mind. I'm just going to dig in. It's soft and fluffy.
And amazing. This particular meal is going to be served at the Ikorodu Food Festival.
Yes, it will. Okay, let's do this. Melts went straight down. No issues. I want to attack those obstacles, but if I start, I won't be able to speak. All right, then.
You don't need to speak. Just keep
I shouldn't speak. Oh, yeah, of course. I've earned my salary for today.
Thank you so much, Rami. It's been a pleasure.
I'm going to go ahead.
And thanks to everyone that joined us on the show today. Mike,